Did,
Yeah.
did you post yesterday or no?
No, I'm sorry, I didn't post it. God willing, hopefully today. I'll
Thank
post
you.
yesterday's and today, bli neder, I'll try. Okay, so we're learning 1991 Sikha from the Rebbe, all about how we reveal Hashem in this world. And the talk is about the giving of the Torah, the 10 commandments. They parallel the 10 statements of creation. When we reveal through the Torah that Hashem in the world, we're actually, through the Torah, we can reveal that Hashem actually is creator of the world, creating the world at every moment from nothing to something. And that's our job, and that's our ability to do that. We are, do you remember where we are? Zion?
Zion.
Zion, okay. Okay, so we have, there was the discussion also yesterday, Rebbe brought about, it says, the rabbis say, Hashem could have created the world with one statement. Why did he need 10 statements, right? Right, then there's the answer that the rabbis give in the Gemara, the Mishnah, is, I think it's the Mishnah, Mishnah Pirkei Avos, ethics of our fathers, that because Hashem wants to give reward to those who keep the world, first it says to punish those who try to destroy the world that was created in 10 statements and give reward to those who keep the world that was created in 10 statements. So the Rebbe explains this on a much deeper level. What does this mean? What is this whole idea? I mean, what's the one on the 10? And it could have been, and it is, and that Hashem could have created the world in one statement, but he created it in 10. And also that parallels the idea that it says that Hashem said the Torah when he gave Achati B'Hashem. Hashem said one thing, which is, the Rebbe explains Hashem's wisdom. His Torah in general is Hashem's wisdom. But Shtayim is Shemati, but we heard two things. So there's also the way Hashem can present Torah as one thing of wisdom, but then we hear it in more than one thing. So what's going on over here? And the Rebbe explained there's two levels of Hashem revealing himself in the world through creation and through the Torah. There's the level of Hashem from Hashem's perspective, everything's all one and everything's nothing, right? Everything's just part of Hashem and it's all Hashem. And that's emphasizing the idea that Hashem is creating the world every moment from nothing to something, bringing it to its existence. When we fully, or when we somewhat, or when we think of that, at least, which we need to be thinking of that, then we can come to this great bittul sense that really it's all Hashem. It's really Hashem Echad, Hashem is one. Okay, whatever Hashem's Torah is just Hashem's wisdom. That's and what's emphasized is like from the perspective, from Hashem's perspective, or from us looking up above and like, wow, it's really all just Hashem. And the bittul, we're only dependent on Hashem. We're only existing because Hashem is creating us at this moment from nothing to something. So that's the first level of achas, of one. And on that level, Hashem could have created also the world in one statement. Now the second level, however, that Hashem decided to reveal himself through 10 statements, and we hear Hashem and see Hashem, meaning the Rebbe explains we draw down Hashem into the world, into all its details. We have the opportunity to reveal Hashem in every little detail. And that's because Hashem created the world with the 10 utterances or 10 statements. The 10 statements are all the letters of that we see in the Parshas Beishis, let there be light, right? Beishis Ba'Elokim Zeshmayim V'Ha'aretz is the first statement, Vayihir is the second. And then we go through all the 10 statements of creation, and those letters are the foundations of the building blocks of creation through which Hashem's energy is channeled in many, many, many different permutations and gematrias and changes until you have all the names of everything that's being created in many, many, many facets and details. And that's also channeled through Hashem's spheres. So because
notice you're frozen for a few minutes. Can you just backtrack a couple seconds? Yeah, weren't hearing you.
Oh, everybody or just you?
All of us, yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
No, you just froze. That's it. But you're better now.
Okay, I'm just wondering why. I'm paying for very good Wi-Fi. I think my bill's like $7 a month for Wi-Fi. Trying to reveal Hashem on all the details, every little aspect and every little moment. Okay, I guess it wasn't meant to be. But the point is that Hashem created the world with the 10 statements, for us to be able to reveal Hashem and see Hashem in all the multitude of details that come out of these letters of creation. Each statement has letters. Each letter is a channel of energy, and each letter, when it's also changed into another letter through gematrias and through atbash and through changing the letters around, everything in creation is created through these different channels. And there's many, because of it, there's many details in creation. And our job is to find Hashem in every little detail and reveal Hashem through every little detail. So whether it's through the 613 mitzvahs, or whether it's even just using things in order with the kavanah, with the intention that we're using it to serve Hashem. So even if it's not an actual mitzvah, but we're using it so we can serve Hashem, like our eating, drinking, getting dressed, sleeping, everything can be with the intention that it's to serve Hashem. So every little detail is elevated, okay? Exercising included. Okay, so now let's go on to today's learning of Zayin. So there's these two aspects. The one, which emphasizes the bittul, our bittul, and the bittul of the world, that we're really all dependent on Hashem, it's really all Hashem, and which is an elevation from below to above, or the other aspect of drawing Hashem into every last detail in the world, that's represented by the 10 statements or the 10 commandments, drawing full Kedusha, holiness into the entire world and all its multitude from above to below. So the Rebbe says each aspect has something that the other one doesn't have, and he's explaining the advantage of the revealing of the 10 statements. Malatit galut asa ma'amot shemitlabshim b'inyanei haolam באופן של התחלקות מצד משגם בתכונתם שחודרת בגדרי העולם, אבל הגילוי הוא רק דרגת האלוקות שיש לה ערך ביחס לעולם, ולא דרגת האלוקות שלא למעלה מהעולם. What's the advantage? The 10 statements that are actually included in every little detail of creation according to its capacity, its abilities, its talents, but is that the godliness is permeating in the definitions and in the limitations of the world. However, the revelation is only a level of godliness that has a connection and a ratio of some relationship to the world. It's not a level of godliness that's way beyond and above and transcends the world. Now, what's the advantage of Hashem revealing himself through one statement that's beyond the little details and the little changes of the world, is revealing a level of godliness which is way beyond the levels of the world, and the limitations of the world, including the limitations of our brain. This revelation does not permeate the definitions and the limitations of the world. Because you can't see, it can't recognize this advantage. That are in all the details of the world. We can't see in every little detail. Oh, here's Hashem. This is Hashem in this little cup that I'm using. Hashem is right. That's because from that first level of comprehension, what we're seeing is that this cup is really just ein vefes, it's nothing. It's all dependent. Its existence is only Hashem creating it at this moment. So the focus is on Hashem giving it existence, not on, wow, this cup is white and it's, this shape and this form and this temperament and this capacity and, hashlemut hamititi, what's the true fullness and wholeness of completion of creation and Hashem in creation? He b'tzaruf shnei yachad, when you put the two together. שגם דרגת האלוקות של המעלה מהעולם האחד נמשכת מתגלה וחוברת בחלקות בפרטי נביאים עושה מאמר. When we're able to reveal a level of godliness that's beyond the world, מאמר אחד, one statement, it's all Hashem. נמשכת ומתגלה, we draw it down, we can reveal it, and it permeates in all the little details of פרטי הנביאים, of the details of the creation, which are the 10 commandments, the 10 statements. So we see the cup and we see, wow, it is white and it is this shape and has this capacity of holding this hot and this. And yet we're also able to see, wow, this cup is really, it's all Hashem just creating it at this moment, from nothing to something. It's really all Hashem. So the ability to put the two together, that's the goal. Through this, we actually fulfill the purpose of creation. Hashem wanted a dwelling place in this physical low world where we have the details and we have the oneness. Dira, what is a dira? Dira is a dwelling. Where the person who lives in the dwelling is there fully, entirely, with all his essence. So the goal is to see Hashem's essence everywhere. Meaning not just Hashem, how he is within, giving life force to every little detail of creation. Not just love godliness that's within the world and giving the world life force and making it function. But also we see the levels of godliness that are way, way beyond, transcending this world, until we can even see Hashem's essence. Achdut Pshuta, which is just a oneness, of a simple oneness that's expressed in one mimer, could have been expressed in one mimer of creation. And the dira, the dwelling that we make, those betachtonim, is down here below. That the revelation of Hashem's essence, godly essence, is drawn, we draw it down, and permeates in the existence of these lowly physical little details of this world. As they are little divided, defined little details. There's many multitude of different aspects according to their, what they are. And that's revealed through the 10 statements. How do we do this? This bringing Torah into the world, the effect of Torah in the world, through the one statement and the 10 statements. It's emphasized as a preparation for the giving of the Torah through the Sfiras HaOmer from Pesach until Shavuos. Matan Torah b'alach aftermath Yetziat Mitzrayim shenitgala lemelech machem l'kadosh baruch hu b'chvodo b'atzmo v'galam kedei shebeotzichas am mitzrayim ta'avdu nis elokim al. What happened when we came out of Egypt? Hashem revealed himself to us in all his glory and all his essence, and he redeemed us in order that we should be able to come to serve Hashem on the mountain. What was the purpose of taking us to give us the Torah? That we should be able to unite and connect and unify, put together higher worlds and lower worlds, spiritual, physical, godly, and creation, physicality. Higher should come down to the lower, lower should go up to the higher, as the rabbis say in the Midrash. So what's true, however, true connecting the higher and the lower is not that you change anything, that you change, that the higher becomes less and the lower becomes different, because then it's not high really and low uniting. The whole purpose is that they each state have their own definitions of what they are, higher and lower. The higher levels are as they are, on their high levels, it unites and becomes one with the lower, as it is in the lower levels. How do we do this? How do we unite physical and godly and make the world the godly place? Physical, spiritual. We can do it, the Rebbe says, through Sfiras HaOmer, through counting the Omer. Like it says, what's the idea and the content of counting the Omer? We're supposed to count from the day after Shabbos, meaning the day after Yom Tov, after the first day of Yom Tov. We start counting 7 weeks. And that's, the Rebbe says, count 50 days. What is this in our service of Hashem? That from Yimachat Shabbat, from the day after Yom Tov, we start revealing Hashem's essence. Bichvodo b'atzmo, Hashem himself, with all his glory and his essence. And beyond, Hashem I see is beyond the divisions of this world, which is represented with the Ma'amar Echad, one statement. She'ya'ir, that Hashem as he is with all his glory and essence, as beyond the world, should shine. Uspeltem, we count, which means counting also means to shine. Sapir. Sapir b'Yehud, over Gilui. Sfartem also refers to revelation. In all the little details of our emotions. Sheva Shabbatot sign, 7 weeks, 7 times 7. We really should, ladies, remind me at the end of class to speak a little bit more about this verse because I haven't focused enough on the midas, the fixing of the day. So let's try to focus on it a little bit more. Sheva Shabbatot Zayin, the 7 times 7, the 7 weeks, that we have those emotional capacities in our soul and in the world. In the world, it's revealed through the 10 commandments, all the divisions. Ad shit galeh, until it will be revealed, tispo, meaning to reveal. V'yachtov behem, and should permeate with us, hagilu chamishim, the revelations of the 50th day. What's the 50th day? We've learned this before, the Shar Hanun, the 50th gate. It's beyond the 49 levels that are connected to this world, the 49 gates of revelation that are relevant to this world. 50th gate is beyond this world. We know that Moshe Rabbeinu got the 50th gate after he passed away. The Shahan, that's small on this level of the 50th gate. Lo HaKadagat Tachtona, Sheyesh La'ech, I shouldn't say passed away when his neshama went out. It's not just the lowest level, not just the lower level of the 50th gate that's connected to the other 49 gates, the lower level of the 50th. Ella, the highest level of 50th, it's way beyond the 49 gates. Which is representing the one statement of Hashem could have created the world in one statement, of Hashem beyond the world. We reveal that on the 50th gate. But to do that, we need 49 days before preparation. Okay, so that's why we have these 49 days each day, focusing on something more, one more aspect in order to be able to elevate ourselves to the 50th gate. This is the last statement of this paragraph. Should be clear. Chana Shabbat. סימה ביום השבת, שבועות שמתחילות באחד בשבת, ומסות בשבת, בשש בשבת, תמימות כמי בראשית, תמימות שבתמימות, מודגש יותר שהגילוי בחדור בעצמו חדר בגדי העולם, שבתות תמימות כמי בראשית. That year, the week started on Motzei Shabbos, and Sunday we started counting the Sfira, and that year in 1991, was exactly perfectly 1 week to we finished the week. We finished it finished on Shabbos. So Sunday was Chesed and Monday was Gevur and Shabbos was Malchus. Like it was perfectly correlating. And so that was with the timing also of how the weeks came out was perfectly aligned. Welcome, Geula. And welcome Sharon. And welcome. Okay, Yavach Hashem. Nice group today. Welcome, welcome. So we just finished paragraph 8, Ches, right? Of Parshas Bechabechukusai, 1991. So the idea is that through Sfiras HaOmer, every day focusing on one detail of aspect of how we can elevate and change our emotions and make it connected to Hashem, we reveal Hashem in the limitations and definitions of this world, ourselves and the world, and we're able to connect to Hashem through that on the highest level of Hashem's essence, because we refined everything within this Hashem as He revealed Himself within the world, and then we're ready to actually embrace and reveal Hashem in this world on a level that's really beyond the world. And that's going to be the level of Geula fully, when Hashem, as beyond the limitations and definitions of this world, are going to be revealed. I think I mentioned to you in Shabbos, Rabbi Wolffe was saying how they're about to take a quantum computer, which is a million something, a measurement of it compared to all the supercomputers that are only 100 and something. They're going to take this quantum computer, which is way, way, way above, right? A million compared to 100 is 100 and something is amazing, huge computing that we can't even imagine, and combine that with AI. And we can't even imagine what's going to come out in terms of that. So he was saying it's like the Ein Sof. Hashem's unlimitedness is going to be revealed in this world in a much greater leaps and bounds than we can ever imagine. So so everything we're doing is to reveal Hashem in all the details, and details upon details. And at a certain point, we get to this quantum leap, I guess, where we can Hashem is going to just be revealing Himself beyond what we can even in our brains ever imagine. I think we'll just have to embrace Hashem as Hashem is beyond. Be able to,
Does your son have access to that? He can update us sometimes?
It's not my son, Rabbi Wolffe is.
Oh, Rabbi Wolffe, right.
Mentioned it. Yeah.
Yeah.
He mentioned it, that that's what they're talking about.
Okay.
Yeah, very soon. It shouldn't take too long. Okay. Anyway, so it's, it's an amazing world we're in right now. The changes of revealing Hashem in this world are also happening so fast. It's hard to even keep up with all the little aspects and details of Hashem being revealed in this world. Yes. So now the Rebbe is connecting into the time. The time that we're coming up to is Rosh Chodesh Sivan. So this Shabbos is going to be Shabbos Mevarchim, the Shabbos that blesses the month of Sivan, and Rosh Chodesh Sivan is coming up next week. What happened Rosh Chodesh Sivan? It's the third month. They came to the Midbar Sinai. They came to the desert of Sinai. Shavua Zayin B'Yom Gimel Bo Ukila Nichnasa Kol HaShavua. On the seventh week, on the third day of the seventh week already, it's as if we already reached fully that week, and it's as if fully already we prepared for the giving of the Torah through the days of Sfeir Omer. So we're basically coming towards the finish line. We're almost there. And that Rosh Chodesh, I guess that year was on Tuesday, in the seventh week. Was after already 44 days were completed. In them is included the main service of the Sfeir Omer, meaning so fixing the like I said, we're coming close to the finish line. We did most everything already for refining the midos, the emotions. By the 44th day, it says in Kabbalah Al Ges Al Derech Mashav Shachalav Megadel Evei Havlad, the mother's milk gives energy and grows the limbs of the body of the baby. That's parallel to what we're doing to raise and feed and nourish our emotions, our midos, our attributes, our talents of the animal soul or the human soul, and elevating them. So just like physically, the mother's milk gives nourishment to the baby, so too we give nourishment to our emotions, our midos, our human tendencies, and we can elevate them, make them grow. Through drawing down, according to Kabbalah, what it says, the mochin of Yanika, these understandings that we draw and we nourish and we suck on, so to speak. We drink the milk, the mother's milk, which is the understandings. In the 44 days of the sphere, the 44 days of the counting, similar to the idea that it becomes the mother's milk. Where does it come from? Her blood. So the blood becomes the milk. So this is, okay, Kabbalistically. When a child drinks the mother's milk, he's actually drinking from the blood of the mother, and that prepares him to be able to also eat actual food, real food, dagan, which is like wheat, barley, etc., grains. And this parallels the giving of the Torah, which is parallel to bread. And that we get on Chag Shavuos. So till we get the Torah, we're like babies that are nursing from our mother's milk, and we're getting our nourishment and growing our midos, growing our emotions, like a baby gets his nourishment from his mother's milk, which is her blood turning into milk and nourishing them. However, when we're already by Shavuos, it's like we're ready now to eat wheat, barley, dagan is grains. We're already, so on Kabbalistically or on a spiritual level, when we're dealing with emotions, we're in a lower level of consciousness and able to, refine the little details. And once we finish doing that and we elevated our human tendencies, our emotions, and we came to consciousness beyond just our raw emotions, we're able to really fully see Hashem in all our emotional attributes and not get caught up just in the physical, emotional, or human emotional side of ourselves, but to be able to incorporate Hashem into all the feelings that we have and all the tendencies and talents that we have. Then we're ready to get the Torah and fully incorporate Torah, fully transmit Torah, fully learn and teach Torah, because by then our emotions are fixed. If a person is like a little baby and just screams and yells to get whatever they want, doesn't know how to use their emotions to serve Hashem, their human tendencies to serve Hashem, they're not mature enough to really integrate Torah fully. Yes. So that's my little understanding of what I was saying over here. It's interesting because I remember learning this as a teenager. This idea, it's that Tzemach Tzedek brings it in Derech Mitzvah, that he brings from the rabbis. It says that a child cannot say Abba, cannot call his father's name, cannot start talking until he eats actual wheat, tandagan, or grain. And that's they try explaining according to Kabbalah Chassidus what that means, and I never fully understood this idea. I think this is maybe the first time I'm understanding a little bit about this idea. That what he's saying, until we fully integrate and elevate our human natural animal soul, and we elevate our midos through the 7 weeks, we're just like babies that are sucking and nursing from our mother's milk. However, once we fully bring Hashem's consciousness and we know how to elevate our feelings to serving Hashem, use our natural human tendencies to actually incorporate and see Hashem and feel Hashem and understand Hashem, like we bring a consciousness into our emotions, then we're ready to really receive the level of Torah, of understanding and integrate Torah in a way that really is like an adult into our humanness. It's already, our humanness is fixed or elevated to a certain degree of consciousness. So we can now bring in Torah ideas and it won't be blocked. If a person is stuck in fear or stuck in human, baby capacity, they can't fully integrate Torah. They can't, they're not ready, not capable, right? You can say the most beautiful ideas for them, this beautiful Torah, it will just come in and go out, or come in and just be a nice idea. It won't necessarily be integrated. So we need the fixing of the midos. We need to really fully incorporate Torah by first fixing elevating your emotions. Does anybody want to say or ask something about this? An important point.
I kind of wanted to make a point about something else you were speaking about Rabbi Wolffe's idea. I mean, saying about how these quantum leap that we're going to be taking in technology.
Yeah.
I kind of think it's parallel to at the beginning when Chassidus was being revealed to the world. And there was the whole idea of the Industrial Revolution and all those things that were manifest, but it wasn't because the physical was manifesting so fast. It was because of all the godliness coming to the world that it affected the physical being manifesting all these revelations. So I think it's also now that we have Chassidus in all the airwaves and everywhere is available and all these classes coming out and Chassidus is just permeating so much that there's this quantum leap of all this revelation of all these details of Hashem in the physical. But it's the spiritual that's affecting the physical, not the physical is coming and then the spiritual. I think it's the other way around. It's the Hasidic revelation, the spreading of the well springs, that's bringing all this other revelation. I don't know. It's my
So, but how are we spreading the well springs? It's if
I don't know. You're doing a pretty good job of it.
Look at people who are able to go on Instagram And in a few seconds, or like a little story, like, 30 seconds, 60 seconds, whatever, maybe 2 minutes, are able to bring an idea of Hasidus with all the acting. That's already bringing it to another level. I'm saying, like, through a story, through
Yeah, well, I mean, also the Rebbe's teachings and the deep
yes,
Hasidus that you're bringing out into, like, and the Rebbe said, like, it's so powerful. What is the straight path of bringing the Geula is learning in Yani Geula and Mashiach
yes,
of our Rebbe, right? So that's what you're doing right now. And he said, he didn't say like even 10 people, that's why we always say 10 people learning, which is probably connected with the idea of the Midos and the Chabad, like having 10, right? The idea of 10 permeating. And I always like to point out when we're 10 on this group. So
yes. Are we
right.
10 here today with
We
your
are 10.
daughter?
We are 10 today because I see my daughters with my granddaughter. So that
Right.
makes two.
Welcome, welcome. We're so happy you came. Geula, and what's your granddaughter's name?
Hi, Mushka.
Kaimushka, welcome, Kaimushka. We're so happy you're here. You made the 10th student of our class.
That's right.
So you're making the airwaves permeate with 10, so it's much more strong. But whatever we're learning. Well, what I was saying is, you're right. I agree with you 100%. But the idea is that each and every one of us should do that. Should be able to do that, and we could do it in a way that reaches even more people. Not only people who are willing and able to sit in a class for an hour and learn the deep levels of Chassidus from the text, but even people who may not be on that level and are not ready for that and want to hear it through a story or through a skit or through a song or through an easier way of applying it. But so that's really going to bring it down even more and more and more. That's
But remember, we were talking earlier, one good way to do it is to use yourself, your own thinking, your own creativity,
yes,
your own mouth, your own, to
yes,
just repeat words of Torah as it, like where you see that it is applicable to today, to the moment.
yes. Right. Examples from what's going on right now in our world, in our lives, in the world at large, and in our own personal lives. See the miracles in everything. That's why I keep encouraging you ladies to find the miracles, because that's revealing Hashem within the world, and our own chiddush of seeing Hashem. That's our revealing Hashem in the details of this world and our life, which is this world. Yes, that's why. Whenever you have a miracle that you want to share, you're welcome to.
I know. I think that's why Hashem empowers us. Gives us agency, and like often makes us believe, like gives us whatever, our animal soul, our ego, everything that he gives us to use for this purpose, really, right? Is what you're saying. Yeah.
We each have our own talents, our own mindset, our own life experience, so that we can come to seeing Hashem within our space where we live, our time that we live in, our human soul that we were given. It's time, space, and soul.
I want to see what Hava just said. I think it's so important. I think, Hava, what you said is that to relate what the Torah says right now, right here in this place, and relate it to the person you're speaking with, that person understands that it's like real life. Is that right? Is that what you meant to say?
Yeah, the Torah is alive right here, right now, within this person that we're.
Right, and then that person gets it.
Yeah, to us and to them. Yeah, not the person can see how it's relevant to us and to them.
That's how we show them.
Right. Very nice. Yeah. Okay. Now I got what both of you are trying to say.
Yeah, that's what I heard her say that. That's why I said it.
Now I understand better what
the only time that our animal soul and our ego gets out of control or goes in the opposite direction is when we don't have Hashem in our minds. We don't have Torah in our lips. That's when because it's really made for us to have agency to perform it and to see everything through Torah and everything. But when we separate, that's when we go awry. That's when our ego is like,
it's
separated from, God forbid, from God or the Torah, right?
Exactly. So there's different levels of our ability to be conscious of Hashem. And one of the levels that we've been trying to plug into is seeing the divine providence and seeing the miracles, the hand of Hashem in the world and in our life. And yes, and then that's one way that we can also, through Torah, show Hashem in the world, and through Chassidus, through Hashem, show Hashem in the world. So there's different, like we said, different levels of the Aleph. Okay, there's the Aleph of just how Hashem is the master of the world, and there's the Aleph of Hashem through Torah, and there's the Aleph of Hashem through Chassidus. So there's many levels we can show Hashem to ourselves and to other people. And when we make Hashem relevant to people who are not yet conscious at all of Hashem so much as Hashem is in the world, and we show, here, look what Hashem did. Look at this miracle, and look at that miracle in my life, and your life, in the world. We're making Hashem relevant on the first level of Aleph, of Hashem being revealed in the world. Then when we teach Torah, it's the second level. And then when we learn Torah or make Torah applicable and relevant, and then Chassidus is, wow, it's already Hashem on a soul level, on a deep internal level of Hashem's essence.
But this concept of the Rasha versus the Tzaddik, that was one in your first statements of was that the Rebbe's words?
Rebbe is quoting from the Mishnah, Pirkei Avos, of Ethics of Our Fathers. It says, why did Hashem create the world with 10 utterances of statements rather than one? Is in order to give more reward to those who follow Hashem and punishment or to those who don't.
So,
yes.
So we can see that just in what we're talking about right now. We don't have to go to the Ten Commandment. We don't have to necessarily make a parallel to the Ten Commandments, or we do.
Well,
how do you become a Rasha in this? Like,
well, the Torah just reveals to us what the purpose of creation is.
That's it.
Yeah, to serve Hashem in this way and not that way. And with Chassidus, we even get the purpose of the whole intention of Kavanah of creation on a much deeper level. Not just the do's and the don'ts, but also the whole, the whole purpose of what it is that we're here for, which is revealing Hashem himself. And that is not just through the do's and the don'ts, but through understanding and recognizing Hashem, which Chassidus teaches us.
So how do you become a Rasha on that? Just by not?
Yeah, by not doing Hashem's will. Not doing Hashem's will through Torah, the many aspects of the Torah, not doing Hashem's will and the whole purpose, the whole kavanah.
Meaning not recognizing, not having the kavanah.
By just revealing our own ego or our own selves or our own power, God forbid, rather than revealing that it's all Hashem's will and Hashem's
given to us by Hashem for the purpose of
revealing God beyond instead of our own ego and our own self being. Yeah.
Oh, for the purpose of revealing Him.
Yeah.
In all his aspects and in all his halacha and all his instruction. Yes. Yeah. Okay. Thank you.
The first level is, like we said, is revealing Hashem, that Hashem is, how do you say, running the world and guiding the world, and He's the Almighty. That God's the all power of the world. The second level is revealing Hashem in all the aspects and details of Torah. And then the third level is revealing Hashem's essence more, and that's through Chassidus, understanding Hashem on the deepest levels and intentions of creation, which will be fully revealed. Times of Geulah exponentially. We're looking forward to
the
right now we get a taste of it here of Chassidus. So I'll finish the paragraph 9, and then we can talk some more. כיוון שנשתמה העבודה דבר זיקוק פרטי המידות על ידי גילוי או שבדרך להתקלקות בפרטי המידות עשה מאמרות, נעשים מוכנים ועומדים לקבל הגילוי עוד יום ה-50. Since through fixing ourselves, elevating and purifying and enhancing our midos, our emotions, how do we do that? Through revealing a light that's according and tangible that we can relate to, according to our midos, that Hashem put into creation through 10 days. Then we can be prepared and ready to receive an even higher light of the 50th day, which is beyond divisions, Hashem's essence. Okay, so which was Hashem as He is and could have created the world in one statement. But we, from our perspective, we need to build up towards that. And we start that through Rosh Chodesh. On Rosh Chodesh, we have an aspect of bittul, of making ourselves less, like the moon is less before Rosh Chodesh, it becomes nothing. It becomes like a little point. As through first having this bittul and recognizing it's all Hashem, then we can come to the revelations of the 50th day of Shavuos, where we can see Hashem's essence in the world. Similar to this, we also had on the 33rd day of the Omer, Hod Shabbat, acknowledgement or gratefulness, gratitude and gratitude. The sphere of Hod, of acknowledgement or gratitude, is the last sphere of the main body of emotions, of midos. מבחינת הוד שבהוד ולמטה מסתיים מבחינת גופה, עיקר המידות מתחילים מבחינת ההשפעה לבעל מגופה. After hod שבהוד, we start Yisod, which is starting to go outward of revelation. ולכן מאיר גילוי העליון שלמעלה מהתחלקות לפרטי המידות על ידי הקדמת הביטול לבחינת הודאה. So in order to bring down this light beyond the midos and beyond ourselves, we first have to have the bittul, which comes through acknowledging, through thinking, through gratitude. If we would wake up every morning and really, really say, when we say modani, really, really be grateful, really thank Hashem, and really acknowledge that Hashem is giving us our neshama now and creating us and giving us existence from nothing to something. If we really came to that every moment, then we're ready. We're already ready. That's the bittul, we're ready to go on to the next level. So that's hod shabahod, acknowledgement within acknowledgement, nasagili the pnimiyut Torah. Through that, through this gratefulness and acknowledgement, this bittul, that's all Hashem, then we can come to the level of revealing the inner dimensions of Torah. We can add. The Rosh Chodesh Sivan is connected to Matan Torah. Gam mitzat Sfirat Omer. Rosh Chodesh Atzmo. What's the Sfirat Omer on Rosh Chodesh? It's 45. Ma. Shenispar ma hu gematria Adam. 45 is the gematria Adam, man. Otiot Aleph, Dam, Aleph, and then blood, Dam. Okay, it's gematria 45. Al pi der shatonim shalal Dam. Torah was compared to Dam, which is blood. Shemamshichayev b'kol. Why is Torah compared to blood? Because it draws life force into all our limbs, the blood. So, like when you think of your blood, you can think Torah is giving us life force, like our blood gives us life force. ונקראת גם אדם, זאת תורת אדם, דם בתוספת א', יש לומר שדם שמתפשט ונמשך בכל גוף רומז על 10 מעלות. So this Aleph and dam, we can think of, the Rebbe says that this dam, this circulating blood that comes to all our body parts, is alluding to the 10 commandments, or the 10 statements in the Torah, the 10 commandments, which are all the little details of the halachas. Like we know that every mitzvah that we have and every detail is drawing down another channel of energy, of life force into us. והאדם הוא א' דם ומזל משכת המאמר אחד, שבתורה שלמעלה מתחלקות לפרטי הלכות התורה, אדם אחד דיבר אלוקים, שעניין זה נעשה על ידי הקמנת הביטול ולעבודת התפילה. So then there's an aspect of oneness of that one bring Hashem as he's just one beyond all the little divisions. This high level of Hashem, how's that? That's done through prayer, okay, through introduction of prayer. So when we daven to Hashem, we say, Hashem, please help me. Hashem, please take care of me. Hashem, please guide me. Hashem, please, show me you love me. That's an introduction of bittul, to be able to see Hashem in our life and beyond. Okay? So keep davening, keep talking to Hashem, keep asking Hashem and acknowledging Hashem and asking Hashem for help and to understand Hashem and to feel Hashem, etc., etc. So we finished paragraph 9. Anybody want to say something or ask something or add something? Okay, so let's do the psukim. I'm going to turn off the recording.